What's up, what's up, what's up? It's your boy G, and today we are going to be answering the $500 question that is going to be on the minds of a lot of gamers, parents of gamers, and spouses of gamers this holiday season. Because I promise you one thing, I promise you that in the next month to 2 months, you guys are going to be bombarded with advertisements that say you need to run out and get you one of these bad boys right here. The Xbox Series X. Your boy G has had the Xbox Series X since it launched last year. So in today's video, I'm going to give you my honest review and let you know whether or not I truly believe this is a worthy investment for you as a gamer this holiday season. But before we get into why or why not I feel like you should purchase the Xbox Series X, please subscribe to the channel so you get notified of all of the latest happenings with the Moses family, and hit the like button. You mashing that like button really helps out the channel. It helps out the family. And also, man, if you have questions that I don't get to in this video, please leave a comment, ask your question. I'll reply back to you. Again, I'll shoot you straight, keep it 100. Anything that you want to know about my experience with the Xbox Series X, drop it in the comments below. All right, so check this out. I'm going to do something a little different than most YouTube reviewers out there. I'm not going to bury the lead. Should you buy an Xbox Series X? I believe the answer to that question, if you are a gamer and you enjoy the Microsoft ecosystem, is probably yes. I'm going to give you a few reasons why I think you should buy the Xbox Series X, but I'm also going to give you a few reasons that I think you might want to wait in certain circumstances, depending on how much you game and what's important to you in gaming. Reason number one that you should buy the Xbox Series X. I mean, look at it. It's beautiful, right? Like it looks really good. At least, like if you compare the way that this Xbox looks to some other gaming systems, and even if you just keep it to the way that the other Xboxes in the Xbox family look, I think that this is the best looking console that Microsoft has made. So you can stand it up vertically like this. You can also lay it down on its side. Probably gonna fit in nicely with your entertainment system. It doesn't take up too much space. It's not too bulky. I'm a minimalist, so I like this rectangular sort of vibe that it's giving off. I like the way that it looks, right? But obviously you don't buy a gaming system because of how it looks. But one of the major things that you buy a gaming system for is how the games you play on it look. So it's not just the Xbox that looks good. Everything you do on the Xbox is gonna look good. That's the selling point, and I'm here to tell you it's true. It looks great, 4K, all of that. I don't know a lot about TVs. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, but what I will tell you is I don't have the newest TV in the world, and it still looks great. You don't need the latest OLED 500K TV. You just need a decent TV. As long as you have a decent TV, the Xbox Series X is gonna look great on it. And here's a bonus. Your old games, the games that you playing right now on your current gen system, are gonna look great on the Xbox Series X. And that actually leads me into point number two, backward compatibility. This is something that has plagued gamers for as long as I've been a gamer, right? You upgrade to the new system and instantly all of the games that you bought, you can no longer play. Not the case with the Xbox Series X. Any game that you're currently playing on your current gen Xbox system, you can play on the new system, and it's gonna look better and it's gonna perform better. The loading times are better. Like, I'm a big No Man's Sky player. This is not an exaggeration. When you go from system to system in No Man's Sky, sometimes you're sitting at a loading screen for 60 seconds. That might not sound like a long time to you while you're watching this video, but that is an eternity for a loading screen. No more with the Xbox Series X. So reason number two is backwards compatibility, but not just backwards compatibility, but optimization. Your old games are optimized when you play them on the new Series X. Speaking of optimization, I'm all about efficiency. I'm all about efficiency. The quick resume feature on this thing right here is worth the price of admission alone. Last gen made it so that we could finally minimize our games, right? You could leave your game of 2K basketball and go watch Netflix and come back to it. Guys, when I tell you that the quick resume feature earns its name, it's lightning fast. It's lightning fast, and you can do it for up to 6 games or applications. So if you're playing a game of 2K, wifey comes in, kids come in, they want to watch Frozen. switch it over to Netflix. When the movie's over, you right back in your game right where you left off. It sounds like a minor thing, but being able to have 6 games open and have the state saved of exactly where you were and have it load back instantly, it's an amazing feature for somebody that uses the gaming system, not just for games, but as the center of their entertainment world, right? Like, I got my Netflix, my Disney Plus, my ESPN. None of these people are paying me, so I might blur out those names. Can we edit that? Okay, but look, what I'm saying is multitasking is extremely important, and the quick resume feature makes it really, really easy to do that on the Xbox Series X. And the last reason that I'm going to talk to you about today only applies to a certain group of people, and this might actually be a reason why you won't want to buy the Xbox Series X, and we'll talk about that in a second. But I am an early adopter. I like to get technology while it's new, fresh, be the first person with it, get to experience the joys and pains of the bugs, and also get the new enhancements before anybody else. One of the best things about the Xbox Series X is that it's new, right? But it's not just that it's new. It's that with that backwards compatibility, Xbox is telling us that, hey, as a company, Microsoft is not in a rush for you to buy this system, right? You don't have to rush out and buy this. You can still play with your friends on Warzone if you're on the older system, right? But what you're starting to see game makers do, let's take 2K for instance. Yeah, there's a 2K on the current gen, and you can play it both ways. But there are features that are only available to you if you're playing on the Xbox Series X. That's going to become more and more common, where over the next year to 2 years, you're going to see the current gen version of the game be a really, really stripped down version of the next gen version of the game. So those exclusive features are part of the reason why you want to upgrade to the new system, if that's important to you. So let's get into why you shouldn't buy this Xbox Series X, right? Some of the reasons that I just gave you as positives are also negatives, right? Let's talk about backwards compatibility for a second. If all of the games that I want to play on the Xbox Series X are available on the system that I already have, why would I buy the Xbox Series X? You would buy the Xbox Series X because you want those additional features. You want it to look a little bit better. You want to just have the newest thing. You want it to be faster, all of those things. But if that's not important to you, stick with the Xbox that you got until you have to buy an Xbox Series X. Reason number 2 you may not want to buy the Xbox Series X is there aren't a lot of exclusive titles for it yet. Halo hasn't even dropped yet. Halo is the big thing that we know is going to be Xbox Series X exclusive, right? It hasn't even come out yet. We know that Bethesda signed an exclusive deal with Microsoft, so the next Elder Scrolls game, the next Fallout, those games will be exclusive to the Xbox, but they haven't dropped yet. As of right now, anything that you want to play on Xbox Series X, as I already said, you can play on the current gen. So there's not really a rush to go get this system if you don't want the features that we've already talked about. I'm starting to sound like a broken record, right? The last and most important reason that you might consider not getting the Xbox Series X right now is because they are still really hard to get. I told you that I got my Xbox Series X at launch, but I did not tell you what it took to do that. I had to stalk multiple Twitter accounts to get leaks for when the thing was going to release, what website it was going to release at. I had to be sitting at my computer with I had a cell phone, computer, tablet, another cell phone, all refreshing Best Buy's website over and over again for hours at a time to get this system. It's probably going to be the same way this holiday season. So if you're not willing to do that, if you don't want to go through the stress of having to try to figure out when the release window is going to be and all of that, it might be better off for you to just wait. I'm hoping that the shortage that they've been having is going to decrease next year. I would tell you guys that I don't think that this system is going to be widely available for the holiday season, so I think we're going to be in the same spot that we were in last year. So again, if that stresses you out, you might want to wait. All right, so there you have it. I know we didn't get into the technical specs of the Xbox Series X. If you guys are really interested in the nitty gritty, leave that in the comments and I'll do another video. But I wanted this one to be straight to the point for those of you that are thinking about buying an Xbox Series X over this next holiday season. And I will state my position clearly. There are a few reasons why it could be advantageous for you to wait until January, February, March, April to buy the Xbox Series X. But what I will say to you is I love my Xbox Series X. There's not been a moment since I purchased it that I looked up and said, man, I really wish I had waited to buy this Xbox Series X. So in my humble opinion, if your finances allow for it, you're a gamer, you really enjoy video gaming, you're in the Xbox ecosystem already, if it's available to you, there's absolutely no reason to not buy the Xbox Series X this holiday season. But if you want it this holiday season, I will warn you again, quantities are going to be limited. So I would start making your plans for how you're going to obtain it now. Now, there's one thing we didn't talk about in this video, and that's that there is another next-gen version of the Xbox called the Xbox Series S. Again, leave a comment below if you want me to do a video about the Xbox Series S. But what I will tell you about it is this. If you are going to make the investment to upgrade to the next gen, then make the investment to upgrade to the next gen. I would not spend my money on a watered down version of the next gen console, right? Now, I understand that there are budget considerations, but I would honestly tell you that if you were thinking about buying the Xbox Series S this holiday season, I would hold off, save a little bit more money, and then next spring, next summer, buy the Xbox Series X. I'm not going to get into the specs of the Xbox Series S, but what I will tell you is that the graphics are going to look better on the Xbox Series X. The processing speed is better on the Xbox Series X, and the hard drive space is bigger, and that is going to be a killer for the next gen. These next gen games are big, so don't intentionally box yourself in by buying a system that has a smaller hard drive. That's just my opinion. Should you buy the Xbox Series X this holiday season? Absolutely yes, probably, maybe.